You're gonna like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Diz Idiots, the podcast about anything and everything in the world of Disney. And you know what? We're here tonight. It's old school. It's just good old Bruce and good old Dozer here to bring you the Disney news and what we got coming on in our upcoming Disney trips. Maybe an upcoming one for someone here. Who knows? We'll find out. Brian's busy, I think, booking a trip.
Brian's travel agenting. Love the Mouse Travels.
Woohoo!
Plug. Shameless plug.
So, I think the first news we need to add is the fact that Disney has figured out a way, and there is some sort of travel that can be Disney complimentary travel not complimentary, Disney ground transportation that can be added onto your packages.
No way. Added on, you say? Not Disney.
Added on.
No, not Disney.
And you know what? Some of it makes sense. The only issue I have with it is they are all more luxury options. They're all private cars. You know, you could have an SUV, a limo.
Oh, a limo.
Yeah.
Schmeh.
Ooh, you know, here's one where they have clearly looked at their market. Yeah, you could have a limo, a sedan, an SUV, or like a Connect van. And up to one complimentary car seat will be provided for children 5 and under.
Ooh. Okay, how about what do we got? The price point on these bad boys?
Oh, you know, I had the article earlier where I had the price points. They weren't terrible. They weren't good either.
Listen, it's gonna. They kind of have you if you think about it, especially unless you're renting a car or something. You got to get some places anyway. So.
Yeah. And, you know, it had to be added on to your package. It had to be a package with park tickets. Resort only package would not qualify you to even book this. And, you know, it's going to be more costly than the buses unless larger families, because it's the flat fee for the car.
Now, did they say how it works?
You book it through your travel agent, you book it through the Disney system, and then that's as much as I got.
Okay. I'm sure Brian will fill us in. He'll have more information to fill us in on. Listen, I know that I know not terrible, but like anything with the bus system, we just had this discussion. We've had it multiple times. We just talked about this in the last 2 weeks ago, the last episode. You know, it's been such a pain. They make it where they've made it where it makes sense to you to spend the money because it's worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm being serious. It just is. You know, they've made it where spending that money is almost a necessity where you go, oh, but it's so, we got in and out, back and forth, no problem. This was worth it. I would do it again. Until, of course, enough people are paying for it and you're not getting a benefit out of it, but who knows?
Well, and I think that's why they're sticking with the private transportation. One, it's highly scalable with all the car companies in the area they probably have contracts with. And it's because it's private, you're always going to get a benefit out of it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, frankly, it's something I would consider doing. Even, you know, obviously it was just me. It's just by myself, but I'm with people. I would consider doing it.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's a little bit, if you have a family of 4 or 5, it makes sense.
Done.
The thing I think I was reading, and it was the one issue, I think the limo was for up to 6 people, but only 5 suitcases.
That would make sense.
And
the limo actually seats 7, but they don't want somebody sitting by the driver.
Yeah. I don't care so much about the Magical Express going away. I just really, really wish they had the magical luggage.
Yes, the magical luggage is a nice thing. Again, I've had a lot of bad experiences with the Magical Express. So I'm not as heartbroken as most other people are about it going away.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's part of your vacation expense. Well, how am I going to get there? That's part of a vacation expense wherever you are. Whenever you fly into some place, you're going to have to get to your hotel somehow. If it's a city, you're going to get in a cab. You're going to get an Uber. You're going to find a way. But you will find a way, folks. You will get there. We all promise. Yeah. We all know. If you see me, follow me. I'm going to the cab stand.
It's not that different from anywhere else. It's people just got used to the perk.
Of course. Listen, it was nice to have. It was. But I saw, and not just me, I saw enough people getting, you just arrived, you're on your Disney vacation. Oh, we can't find you in our system. Really? That's how you're starting? That's how you start a vacation? Snowballs. Snowballs from there.
Yeah. In other Disney transportation style news, Universal's out here trolling Disney.
Shocking nobody. That's what they do.
Yeah. So, right.
Social media, I gotta love it.
Right here we got. Get in, folks. We're going to Universal.
I love when the companies like Wendy's. If you have folks who don't follow Wendy's on Twitter, you're doing it wrong because they are snarky and I love them. But this is great. Hey, folks, do you want to give us a little background on that, Dozer?
Absolutely. So, as we discussed a couple weeks ago, it appears that the transportation from the Galactic Star Cruiser to Galaxy's Edge will be a box truck. That's at least what it looks like at the current moment. So Universal had posted a photo of a box truck going, get in, folks. We're going to Universal.
There is footage. We're not confirmed yet. Nothing is confirmed, but there's enough footage to believe that it's heavily themed on the inside, so you can't do your transport from the Galactic Star Cruiser to Batuu will be, it's going to pull into a bay. You're not going to see anything, but what's part of it that's decorated. You're going to get into the heavily decorated thing, and it's going to be dark. You won't see the actual chassis, if you will. You'll see the rest of your starship, and then it's going to take you to Batuu to the same kind of, again, the kind of, I guess, bay, whatever you want to call it, of the same thing, where you're not going to be able to see the truck part, if you will. I'm fine with it, but just looking at it, it makes sense. Listen, you got to get a lot of people to and from. They're big enough. It makes sense. I'm not knocking that.
Honestly,
does it make $4,000 of a stay worth of sense?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. They promised private transportation. They didn't really say much of how. They said it'd be themed. Now,
it's themed. It's heavily themed.
I don't know what people really expected. Like, it needs to be a vehicle. It needs to have wheels. It needs to hold a lot of people. Like, in other episodes, I've made jokes that it's just going to be a themed coach bus. Like, that was a perfectly plausible answer because what else?
I personally like an idea of themed go-karts.
I like the idea, just doesn't execute well. What I think I would have done is, and it gets hard because it's Florida. You can't dig down. I would have built a tunnel and like a space elevator type thing from...
No, go on, because go on, continue. I'm with you.
Like a space elevator down, and then I don't know the exact distances. If it's a little bit longer, you can stick a people mover in there.
I'm just saying, you can't dig down, but you can build up.
Yeah, like there are ways that it could have been done that you didn't even need to really worry about an on-the-road vehicle.
Well, really more than on the road. The truth is, and this is why a box truck more than a bus or anything makes sense, is I don't know much about the layout of where the Galactic Star Cruiser is compared to Hollywood Studios. You're going to be driving through a backstage area. And, of course, one of the keys being show. The last thing you want is, and this is a gripe I kind of have, we could talk about, go away gray and not seeing things. Listen, when you become an adult, now you're tall, you can see more things. Animal Kingdom, it's impossible not to see the backstage of that park at points. It just is. And even the way around Epcot, to get away things, something like this, you're going to go through a backstage area. So it makes sense to me that it would be all enclosed and that these fit the bill. You could even, one thing we don't know, there could be an animatronic built into that, for all we know. There could be an animatronic built into these things as your pilot. There's all sorts of things we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there is, but I'm simply saying, a certain ride in a certain park nearby has stupid animatronic drivers on a stupid attraction that's terrible to Skull Island.
Well,
so I'm saying it is possible there's a lot more in there than we know.
And let's think of it from this perspective. Essentially, the way I view what's going to happen, and I don't know exactly. Nobody does. That's the beauty of this. Is that this is going to be the interior. When you're at the park, you're going to see the exterior of something that this is slotted into.
It's going to have a bag. Part of this truck, and that's why the things we've seen had a wrap on them. Only part of it. The truck chassis itself and the top portion, I believe, will be empty. When they pulling in, it's going to fit in. So you see, again, you're going to look like you're getting into a much smaller kind of TARDIS. Think of the TARDIS here, if you will. Mm-hmm. You're going to get into something that's, whoa, it's nice and big on the inside, but it looks smaller on the outside.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it because, like you just said, you're going to have to get a lot of people through.
Yeah,
and you're going to need more than one of these.
Here's what I envision at the moment, and there are other ways they could do it. It all depends how they do it and how they do the entry to it. The way I see it, and from what we saw at the landing bay at Galaxy's Edge, is it comes in, it more or less backs right into the rear end of this spaceship. When they're about to open the gang doors, there's a big thing of steam. And however they open the back door, opens.
Could be a back door. Now, I saw...
They showed a side door
There's a side door. Now, for all we know, it could be up the door. We can't open the gang doors here. Everyone has to go in and out the side. Who knows? We will see. But I like that idea. I'm here for that. That's pretty cool.
The side door, I think, works a little bit better in some aspects, other than I think the side door is a little bit more thematically hard to incorporate. Just because, we've watched a lot of Star Wars. Not many doors swing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That one's going to open and close, if you catch my drift. Yes. I think that might be the emergency failsafe, if you follow what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it. Also, can I just say, I am disappointed in the trucks. I was hoping for Winnebagos.
Yes, you were.
I was hoping for a Winnebago. Come on!
You're right. You're right. And when you're right, you're right. But also, this shouldn't be surprising to anyone because, this is not the first time pretty bog standard heavy-duty vehicles are being used for a park attraction. There's nothing that special about the safari vehicles.
No, there isn't. Just they're themed. It works. Listen,
Yeah.
it's all, and again, a big thing, like I just mentioned, is reliability. You need something 100% is going to work. Now, I'm sure they're going to have at least one shuttle on standby in case something happens. But you gotta know, whatever you're doing, you need 100% sure it's gonna
It
work 100% of the time.
and
Nothing ever works 100% of the time, but you know what I mean.
I know we're getting a little close for this to be the fact of, the truck we saw could also just be a mock-up truck.
I actually believe that was it could be it could be a test. It could be the test truck. When I say test, I mean we have. I think it's the real truck. They might not have put the outside on it yet. But we are well within the, if we don't have something testing now, they are in big trouble.
What I was more thinking with that is, for the most part, whatever the drive system of the truck is going to be fairly off the shelf.
Yeah.
What surprised me, and I could be wrong from what I looked at, but what I pretty much saw is, your bog standard diesel road truck. And given the short distances it would have to go and the theming they would like to maintain, it would be a good spot for an electric truck.
Could be.
Because here's the things you're going to get with an electric truck that you're not going to get with that bog standard diesel truck. 1, silence.
Knew that.
2, no gears. Which I don't care who you are, if you've existed and have driven in a standard car for the last lifetime, you know that distinct every time the car shifts.
Oh yeah.
And trucks shift a lot.
Even
getting up to like 5 miles an hour.
That's entirely possible.
So that's just my thought there. Electric or, I know drive-by-wire or whatever that's out of their budget for a $4,000 a night hotel.
I'm just simply for $1 billion company can't possibly afford that. Ridiculous. They're dying over there. Chapek only got a raise. I mean, come on. They have no money. They're on the balls of their feet. But the truth is, the reason I say I think that what we saw was a real active truck is just like anything else. They've been testing this. This is we saw something in a wrap. This is real. This is legit. It may not just have things accoutrement on it. There may be anything attached to it, but this has to be real. They're testing it. Just like Universal was doing Hogwarts Express. People saw that engine sitting backstage for weeks. You could hear it testing once in a while. They knew that they was there. Of course, they're testing it because, folks, we're like, a month and a half? Isn't it the middle of March?
I think so.
Yeah, we're a month and a half from go time. They got to make sure these things work and work well. And the only way you're going to do that is by testing it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we're a week or two away from quiet tests inside the facility. Meaning, I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing team member stuff. If they're even offering team member stuff, I don't know. I haven't reached out for confirmation from people, but I wouldn't be if they're doing something, it's going to happen soon. Because if you're going to find something wrong, you're not going to want to find it March 1st. You're going to want to find it February 1st.
Well, also, screw just trying to see what can go wrong with the technical aspects of this entire endeavor. You need to have dress rehearsals.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. You're teching it. These are tech rehearsals. They're dress rehearsal, everything. Not just what will go. I don't mean just what will go wrong. What's our plan when something goes wrong? In fact, you kind of are simulating. You want to simulate any kind of thing that could possibly happen. Okay, when this goes wrong, here's what we're going to do. Try it. And then I'm sure they've already had this stuff in place, but now it's more putting into action because We're a month and a half from go, and as we know with Disney, if you're a theme park fan in general, you know there's one thing about your opening day. You know it's going to go wrong. Everything. You know it's going to go right. Absolutely nothing. Say it again now.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good time.
Happens doesn't matter where you are, what park, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Six Flags, Hershey, Dollywood, name a park. Happens every time.
Hey, I can say something that went smoothly. You remember the day we were there for the first day of soft openings for Star Tours 2?
I do remember that. Yes,
that went smooth as butter.
They did go smoothly, but even your opening, even that's still a tech preview. Tech previews usually go well. I'm talking your opening day. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Every new roller coaster that opens, we've been running for a month. It's running fine. The media's here. Oh, it's not running now.
You know why? You cannot simulate a 3-hour line without a 3-hour line.
No, you cannot. That's why a certain ride that happened to open, which we're running it, it's smooth like butter. And when it breaks down, we're up fast. Velocicoaster, we're the gold standard at the moment.
Yeah. They need to figure it out, and they
will. They'll be fine.
Will. You know, it'll be interesting to see how the price recalibrates on this hotel in the next couple months.
I just can't wait till we get the first reports. I can't. We're going to get the first reports, and then we're going to get the real set of reports. We're going to get the initial, I paid for it, it's worth the money, blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to get the real fan who's going to report it and go, are you nuts? I paid $4,000. All I got was a crappy thing of food.
And a plastic bag. And that's the whole thing. I would love to give it a try, but I'm not really willing to commit 3 days.
You know, I'd love to try. To me, it's the money. I would love to try it. Just come on. I got to try it. Someone has to. That's a lot of money. Even if it's just by myself, that's just a lot of money to spend.
It's more if it's just by yourself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, it's just a lot of money to commit. I don't know. I don't see the value. I'm someone who hasn't watched The Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or don't know Grogu, nothing about that. So
for me, what really got me is the fact that specialty drinks are not included. And I could even understand if alcohol wasn't included.
Yes, exactly.
But specialty drinks, no. I only want specialty drinks. Dear Lord, I do not want to get there and be given a Diet Coke.
Exactly. When you're paying so much money, I'm sorry. It just becomes, there's a perceived value, and you're going to want to try everything special. And I guarantee that, that's our specialty dessert, the specialty drinks and the specialty food. Well, I don't want your equivalent of a corned beef sandwich. I want to try that.
In fact, I would love if they went further. And specialty drinks for free. Regular drinks cost more because they're imported.
Exactly.
Oh, you want a Diet Coke? That's $5. I'm sorry. We had to import it from another galaxy. It ain't cheap.
Oh, I was going to say something that was wrong. Sorry, that was Star Trek. I was like, they could just, no, they can't just magically make it appear. That is a Star Trek duel. That is not, and I repeat, not Star Wars. Oops.
Yeah, they haven't stolen that one yet. They have decided that their universe should be mostly starving and poor.
Hey, somebody on this podcast got me watching Lower Decks, therefore, not my fault.
Look, it's a show written for you.
It's a fantastic show if you've never seen it. And when Dozer said it, couldn't it be more true? Couldn't it be more true, ladies and gentlemen? We need a Stormtrooper version of this, and we need it 4 weeks ago. We need it yesterday. I need it immediately because that show is fantastic. Fantastic. And I'm not a huge Star Trek fan either. I like Star Trek like I like Star Wars, but I'm not a huge diehard fan of either. But man, that show was awesome.
Yeah. And, I think it also works because Star Wars, you do kind of see more of the lower deck type people. Star Trek, you never do.
No, you never.
You never see the other 5,000 people who ever live on the Enterprise.
You never see all of the second crew, Starfleet, and everything. You're seeing a Starfleet ship, but that's I think a Star Wars show like this would be fantastic because not just you see them, but you really get to see how they live, what they do. You really get to see how much they hate the uppers. And I want it just like Lower Decks, where they're mentioning main people, but you never see them. They're just legends. I might want to mentioning Vader and Skywalkers, but we never want to see them. I just want to hear about them and see what they say about them. I think it'd be a fantastic idea. But we got a little off topic there. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all good. Oh, man, I got this assignment to go comb the desert for some droids.
Yes, absolutely. When? Soon.
So,
I just want to point out, second time we've made Spaceball references. Kaching!
Yeah, hey, we got to get in on that sweet, sweet money. On top of that, I am proud to announce I have booked another Disney vacation.
Ooh! When are we going? Where are we staying? What are we doing?
We're going middle of May. Middle of May. Not an unheard of time frame for me to go.
Gee, I wonder why.
Hey, I went there long before Bella during that time.
I know you did. No, I more meant like because your parents took you there like your whole life.
Yeah. And it's we had some issues of it being a little overly booked for some resorts, but the booking system is shot right now. Like you go on today, there's nothing. You go on tomorrow, every resort's open in every room. It makes no sense. But we are staying at the boardwalk.
Ooh, the boardwalk. Ooh la la.
Or I should say the boardwalk villas, because, I'm making it rain those points, baby.
Nice. Gonna hit up the old clown, what used to be the clown slide.
Yeah, we had this, we were looking at, as I said, it was pretty well booked everywhere. And we were mainly had boardwalk or the consolation prize of DVC, Saratoga.
Boardwalk. Boardwalk, 100%
And I'm sitting there and I'm going, boardwalk. I can walk to 2 parks. In fact, from the boardwalk, I don't need to go to the Magic Kingdom. I can just walk to the 2 parks I can walk to.
Boardwalks are such a fantastic... I love the boardwalk. Fun nights, fun times.
But, we're doing things a little differently this time. We're taking the Brian route. We're driving.
Okay. Have fun.
We're breaking it into 2 drives.
Never mind. I just said that. The thinker went off. That makes sense now.
We're not actually stopping at Liz and Justin's at the in-laws. We are stopping in North Carolina and just doing an overnight, but we're not visiting anybody. We're just breaking it into 2 halves because 2 6-hour trips, way more tolerable.
Yes.
And also, it's just way more tolerable from us compared to Brian, even though it's an hour difference.
Listen, having done the drive in one shot from Orlando to northern New Jersey, because someone found out, wait a minute, I can sleep on a bed wait a minute, I can be there tonight. We're making it, Mom. And we did. I love you, Mom.
But so we're driving, mostly because airfare is a little ridiculous and I don't feel like dealing with it. And it's kind of weird. Adding in the airfare, adding in the hassle of getting there and renting a car. Driving all of a sudden doesn't sound that terrible.
God bless.
iPad.
I'm just referring to the drive. God bless.
Yeah. Once we're out of Northern Virginia, hopefully it won't be too bad.
All of this fitting in a car for that long, it's not a fun thing. But then again, all of this fitting in a plane ain't a fun thing. And right before you go to Disney, I'm going to Vegas for a couple days.
Godspeed.
It'll be fun. I'm excited.
Convention?
Nope.
Laughs and giggles?
certain somebody is getting married, so a bunch of people are going to Vegas.
Well, go see Penn and Teller for me.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I told Meg, like, that's one of the few things I want to do, because I'm like, I'm running out of time. Teller ain't getting any younger.
So, I mean, is this us letting? Is this me and you being let loose in Vegas for a few days? Because I'm here for it.
It might very well be.
Oh, I'm here for it, buddy. Oh, Vegas is a fun time. Great time. Folks, if you've never been, not for a long time. You got to go for just a couple of nights, just a couple of days.
I'm here for a good time, not for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go for a week. Go for a couple of days. You're good. You're going to have a great city, great time. More expensive than it used to be, but still a great time.
Well, Bruce, I do have to set some limits if we're going to Vegas. I will do just about anything.
But you won't do that?
I will not do the Manhattan Express.
I didn't do it because it wasn't. Last time I was there, I'm like, I'm not going to fit. I don't want to do it. But though I do wish I did pass Desperado twice, and I wish I should. Now knowing it wasn't running anymore, now I wish I did it. Fine, that's okay. We got all the right. But folks, you heard it here. Wait. We'll stop the conversation here for a second. Folks, you heard it here. He only ruled out Manhattan Express. To the top of the strap, baby.
I will hate it, but you know what? I won't have a broken back.
No, actually, those are the attractions where Bruce says no. I am acrophobic. For someone who loves theme parks and roller coasters and everything, I do not like the heights.
Oh, I am sure I will not have a good time on them. But you know what?
But
here's the thing. If they catastrophically fail, I am dead. If the Manhattan Express operates perfectly, I am crippled.
Yeah, I heard it was running smoother. A couple years ago, I heard it was running smoother
than the Outback?
I heard it was running smoother. By smoother, I mean I'm talking Vekoma Boomerang, not current Vekoma, old Vekoma Boomerang. So smoother. I said not the word smooth. But that's it. That's the video they need. Me and you on I think it was Extreme the one. Yeah, Extreme, which is basically a teeter-totter that slides back and forth over the strip on top of the Stratosphere Hotel. Yeah, that's the video the world needs.
So I would say I would do one of them. The biggest thing with my blood pressure is 1.
The biggest thing is I got to see if I can do one.
Honestly, I think the one that would probably be the easiest to do is the tower shot.
The big shot.
Because at the end of the day, we know what a big shot does.
It's you know what? It's not even I don't think it's a combo. I think it's just a space shot.
Yeah.
It's for those of you who watch who don't know, S&S makes a lot of drop towers. Obviously, there's the big Intamin gyro drops and everything out there. But the old classic style, from your local Cedar Fair Park and everything, their S&S makes them. There's 3 types: space shot, shoot you up, and then shoot you up, you fall back down. Turbo drop. Lifts you up slow, drops you down. Combo, shoots you up, and then halfway, you bounce back down. Halfway through, brings you up, turbo drop down.
Well, look, I know whatever it is to maximize your time not on the ride.
Yes.
Because you paid $25 to ride that baby.
No, I didn't get to go. I wanted to see the Circus, just the Adventure Dome last time. I didn't get to do that. Things, who knows? But me and you let loose in Vegas for a few days, so that would be a good time.
I want to see the Adventure Dome. I got to see where Baby Geniuses 2 was filmed.
Oh, my God. I forgot. Movies I forgot existed for 100, please. I guess Alex? Who's over hosting
now? There's that. So that's what I got coming up. A couple of good trip. We'll see what we do when we get there. Got to start looking at dining and all. And we may piggyback a stay at Vero Beach with it if we can get a room again. But
great place.
The rooms are scattershot. They change on the frequent, and it could be.
I'm not fully.
You don't. We have
I'm
rooms.
not fully surprised because people are just staying domestic. Obviously, internet. Not that internet. For most people who would be going to like Vero Beach, international travel is huge. But so people, I could see that. Why that's why it's more difficult. Also on vacation in Disney planning news, saw an article today. Disney, I guess the Lightning Lane Genie Plus has an update now. That there's a code that you can link groups together to make your planning a little bit easier. Not that I think anything's going to help this system. Just that's what I saw. Just apparently to make life easier for those of you going in groups.
There's a better solution. Get rid of the app.
Yeah, well, we all know what the better solution is.
So here's the problem with the My Disney Experience app. And you have, I am going to bring this into video games because we've experienced this in video games. These yearly sports releases.
Yes.
Eventually, they build upon the same code so much that it gets so corrupted and so unusable that it just fails and they need to begin from scratch because it was that bad. WWE 2K20 is a perfect example. Madden 21, another example of just they've built so much on it that it's just crushes under its own weight of code. That is this app. It is crushing itself. They need to start from scratch and rebuild the app. They need to hire in the best app developers in the world and probably build 2 apps.
I was stunned. I'll be honest with you. When they announced it, I thought maybe Genie Plus would just run for a little bit, and while they were fine tuning a Genie. I'm surprised Genie Plus didn't have its own app. I really am.
Yeah, it needs its own app because
you're paying for something. It should have its own app. Why should I have just a section included on the app everyone's using that, frankly, never worked that great in the parks anyway? Now, that could just be a phone I had. Most apps are not too... I had Samsungs in the past. I jumped ship to the Unspeakable Corporation for this current generation of phone. But, most apps did not work that great. Disney and Universal on the Samsungs.
Yeah. Disney apps have never worked well on anything.
No, because, again, billion-dollar company, dude. They don't have that kind of cash for that. I mean, jeez.
It's downright shameful.
I can't harp on this enough. Chapek got a raise.
Didn't even get a bonus.
When they announced it, I'm like, why? Why not keep that quiet? Yeah, but the company's bleeding money left and right. They only built billion-dollar Millennium Falcon. We can't even finish Tron on time. It's dark days here.
Yeah.
But yes, the app is terrible.
Yeah, I can't stand it. And this just in, on April 6th, Hollywood Studios Park will be closing early.
Why? Legacy Night?
They don't say anything.
Probably private event. Legacy
Yeah, probably.
Night. Could be anything.
Closing at 5.
Yeah, I would think Legacy event. They've done that in the past there.
So, But you know what? Bruce, you got anything to add from the world?
Well, I don't have anything to add from the world necessarily, but I was talking with my friend Shane, so I told him I was going to do this, and there's your plug, Shane. This idea came from him. We're actually discussing Disney Plus, and we're discussing shows and things, and we're discussing movies. Bob, I got an idea for you. Shane had an idea, and this is a goodie. This one's a big one. You did the Mighty Ducks. You have other series. You had Home Alone. You have other series out there. Heavyweights, the series. It writes itself. You can have multiple seasons with kids coming back as they age, get older, all sorts of things. Pat's still here. Pat is right there waiting for the take. I don't know what Pat's up to these days, but he's still acting. He'd bring Pat in to do it. It's all still there. We can have some of the old kids come back. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Because we still got Pat. We have all sorts of things. Heavyweights the series. I think it's a genius idea.
Assuming it doesn't get canceled by Peter Dinklage.
Well, That's wow, nothing's got canceled. But
Oh,
yeah.
also in exciting news, in Indonesia, Disney Plus will now be the exclusive carrier of WWE programming.
In Indonesia, I was sent an article. I'm like, what? Oh, in Indonesia.
Hey, it's funny enough.
It is funny enough. I first thought they were thinking peacock.
Yeah, well, the Peacock's bleeding money, so.
I'm sorry, with so many apps, it's hard. At least Peacock has a free service. Paramount Plus doesn't.
Yeah, but you know what? At least Paramount Plus has the Halo show coming. That looks pretty decent.
That looks excellent. I like that they're, like you said, they're doing their own. We talked about this earlier this week, folks. It looks like they're doing their own canon. It just looks like a well-done show.
Yeah.
Even though Tony Romo doesn't understand why a video game was being plugged as a TV show. Tony Romo.
Well, look, he knows the footballs.
Does he? Does he? He made a mistake fact I caught him on, but that's beside the point.
What was it? One of those facts that they dig so deep for?
No, it was a fact he talked about Steve Magnolo's defense on Sunday, and I'm like, the times he won. I'm like, no, he wasn't with the team. He was with the Giants at that point, but he did win the second ring with the Chiefs.
You know, it is much like, and I know this came from a meme, but it 100% sounds like a fact you'd hear in the middle of a sports broadcast anymore. Andy Reid is winless against teams named after birds in the championship game.
Considering
after
he
animals.
was the cats. It's cats because considering he was the birds for so long.
Yeah. But like that they dig for these facts.
Okay, you want to talk digging for facts? There was a fact about Ben Roethlisberger in Spider-Man movies. The man was like undefeated the Sunday after a Spider-Man movie released. Like they find stuff. I'm like, how did you come up? And I had to look it up. And son of a, they were right. I'm like, where are you people getting this from? Just talk about digging for sport. And I realize we've jumped to sports, which is a place we usually don't go. But sorry, folks, we've had 2 amazing weekends of football. I hope we got one more coming up. We can talk about sports. Disney owns ESPN. It counts.
Yeah, it does. But you know what? I think on those incredible bombshells.
Things like, where did you come? They're facts. They're real. They do exist. Obviously, I know that what you're talking about was a joke. But like, really?
I don't know where they come up with this stuff, but it is hilarious. And I want to be that poor ADH intern there that has to find these facts. Because it's some kid who just gone down some deep internet rabbit hole.
Well, first off, if you want to talk a championship game losses by Andy Reid, there's a lot more than just 3.
Well, yes, but this is specifically against teams of cats.
Yeah, it's cats, yes. But just the man, but that's it. The man is good at getting to them. He has been to plenty of NFC and AFC championship games.
Yeah.
The man is, I'm sorry, he's only second to Belichick in coaching. The man is the phenom.
Yeah.
Also,
at least in the modern era.
In the modern era. And also on that, I would like to officially state my plug now that Tom Brady's retired. We just had a movie made about Kurt Warner's life. When they make the TB12 movie, I would like to put my hat in the ring to play Andy Reid. There will be an Andy Reid character. I am available.
You know what?
I will grow a mustache. No problem.
I support this for no other reason than to see Bruce in an Eagles jacket.
Oh, I didn't think about that. What did I just do? Oh, you know, people would be sending me stuff. They're like, yeah, look at you.
And I think on that incredible bombshell, it's a great time to end tonight. Over there, that's Bruce. I'm Dozer. We're the Diz Idiots. We're the idiots. So you don't have to be.